What's going on, YouTube? We have another episode of the Dunces podcast, but this time it's different. Why? We got the four of us here. And why is that, guys? Because we actually got to have a real conversation. We're back, like for real. Like we want to like start doing this weekly type thing, bring out some content to you guys. Basically brand ourselves because we're broke and we want to make money some way, somehow. So yeah, I think YouTube is the way. All of us.
Speak for yourself, God.
Okay.
Listen, I'm poor. I am poor. I took a vote.
We can tell. We can see their background. So anyway, everyone, Isandro, Jeremy, Johnny, myself, Jay, we are back, and this time for real, guys. I know we've been saying it every single time we've recorded one. We're actually back. We want to start doing this. Let's hit 50 subscribers by the end of February, please. We only need 2 more. Please just subscribe. So we're gonna start off with the Dunces Sports today, and guys, there's a lot to talk about. First things first, Bol was traded to the Pistons and then traded back to Denver because failed the physical. Not that important. I just thought he was going to do really well in Detroit, but it is what it is. But for the real trade that happened, trade season is upon us, guys, because we got a brand new trade. Johnny, why don't you explain to us what the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks did? Please go ahead and tell us what happened.
Well, I mean, I don't have everything about the trade, but the trade was my boy Cam Reddish, the future generational talent of the NBA, got traded to New York. The pick was a first round protected 2022 pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
With Solomon Hill and Kevin Knox included in the trade. Was there anyone else in that trade?
No, that is right.
No,
that is exactly like that. Solomon Hill is heading off to New York, and Kevin Knox is going to make his way to Atlanta. So, guys, initial thoughts on this trade. I'm going to start off on this one because I did have a lot to say before we started this.
Question. Wait, so they're giving up what? They're giving up what exactly?
A 22 first round pick, Kevin Knox. That's it.
For Cam Reddish. No, Cam Reddish and Solomon are going to New York.
Yeah.
I know. What I'm saying is they're giving up Cam and Solomon for Knox in the pick.
Oh. Yes, that's exactly it. Okay, so now that Isandro himself is finally aware of things, I want to talk a little bit from I know we look too cool. We just want to be like you guys. So, guys, we saw on the next side of things, it's a great trade. Cam Reddish, solid wing defender. Tom Thibodeau is going to help him flourish defensively. He's playing alongside his boy from Duke, RJ Barrett. Does this mean possibly a Zion Williamson coming to New York?
Yes.
Well, I don't know, maybe. And then we have also just the opportunity. I mean, Cam Reddish definitely has an opportunity to flourish defensively under that Tom Thibodeau defensive system because that's what, surprisingly, the Knicks need. They need defense. Who would have thought a Knicks team under Tom Thibodeau needs defense? Right now, I believe they're 11th in the Eastern Conference. They're a game below or half a game behind Boston. Does this trade definitely move the needle? No, it doesn't. We don't know. But it does definitely solidify them for a good, solid, alongside player for Julius Randle and RJ Barrett for the significant future or a trade piece. So for the Knicks side of things, I give it an A+. I think that was a great trade. As for the Hawks, I give them a B. I know I should give them something lower, but look, you're trading away a player that is obviously unhappy in Atlanta, a player that was so easy to get. Anybody could have gotten Cam Reddish because of how much the Hawks were calling people to get for him. So the fact that you got a first round pick when the Lakers were offering 2 second-rounders, that's a steal to me. Even though Cam Reddish is a very young and up-and-coming talent, I believe that a first-round pick is better than nothing. And then you get Kevin Knox. As much as he's disappointed in his NBA career so far, who knows? Nate McMillan is, somewhat a developmental coach. I mean, he's there for, to help out. And I think he's going to do a solid player. If COVID stuff happens, like if Bogdanovich gets hurt or stuff like that, just bring in Knox, he'll be fine. I think that it's not as bad as a trade as I initially thought. But now that you guys heard me talk about it, Isandro, you made a face when I gave the Atlanta Hawks a B. What grade do you give the Atlanta Hawks?
C, because they could have gotten more.
Bro, you are so far from the camera, bro.
Just by him, right there. Just by him, is this close enough?
Thank you. Yeah. Horrible.
Nice. They could have gotten more. That's my opinion. I don't know.
You're saying Atlanta could have gotten more for Cam Reddish?
I mean, we see the players' value. So I mean, at the end of the day, who actually came out winning this trade the Knicks. If you think
Well,
about
that's
it.
true, but
Yeah,
what
so-
value did Cam Reddish have?
More than Kevin
Boy,
Knox
yeah,
and a first rounder.
Bro, you got to remember, Cam Reddish was on an expiring contract. They've been trying to trade Cam Reddish for like
That's-
2 years now, bro. So
Yeah.
But look at it the way I look at it this,
they
right?
already wait, no, let me say something, Sandro. Let me say something, Sandro. They already played their hand, so it's not like they're gonna get more value because they've already shown their hand, letting people know that they want
Okay,
to.
but look, you wait till the trade deadline, right? You wait till other teams get desperate. And worst case scenario, you literally just because this trade would still be on the table. I don't think teams are knocking on the Knicks' door for Kevin Knox. I'm sorry. All right. So if you wait until the trade deadline, odds are you're gonna get something better.
Sandro, why are you acting like Kevin Knox was the centerpiece of this entire trade? Like the Hawks came into the Knicks and said, "We want Kevin Knox. How can we get him?" No,
Why are you acting like the Knicks are the only ones who have a first round pick available?
Well, they're the only ones who actually somewhat offered them.
they're the only ones
pick,
that offered a first round pick. That's why the Lakers.
Now, wait, but I do understand Sandro's point, though. Look, I said this before, too. How old is Cam Reddish? What, 22, 21 years old?
He's young.
He's
very
young, and he's a good defender already in the NBA. Like, might not be good, but he's solid, and he's only going to get better. He's 22, 23.
And like you said, he saw enough to run Tom Thibodeau's defense.
Yeah,
And
like
that's what they need. That's what
so
they need.
he's perfect player for the Knicks. That's why I gave the Knicks an A+ because it's a smart trade for them. They're going to make the playoffs this year. Now, here's the only bad thing with that protected first round pick. It's only protected this year. So if they make the playoffs and they lose that protection, that means their next season, that pick is not protected. That is going off to Atlanta. So if the Knicks do bad next season, which I don't think they will, but if they do, well, now the Hawks get their first round pick. So if you look at it that way, is it really that bad of a trade for Atlanta? I don't think so. I think I'd much rather have a first round pick that, it could be really good or bad, who never knows. But that's the thing. You're taking a high risk, high reward too, and that's why I think it's a pretty solid trade. It sucks that they lose Cam, but they have DeAndre Hunter, they have Bogdanovich, they have Danilo Gallinari, they have a bunch of wing defenders, wing players, not wing defenders. They have a bunch of wing players. Yeah, they have a bunch of wing players. So, and Cam Reddish, he couldn't flourish offensively there, whereas here in Chicago, in New York, he can definitely flourish defensively, and he can have a spot offensively because the team, let's be honest, they don't really have a good offensive option besides, Fournier and Randall, who can dribble with his right hand. So, I mean, Kemba too, but see Kemba. So it's a good trade for both teams. Now, I just give the edge to New York because they're getting the younger, better player. But Johnny, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I think I'm going to say Atlanta is going to win this trade. I'm saying this in the future because just the fact that they were searching for that first round pick indicates that this is a pick that they're trying to package for either a John Collins trade. Because obviously, as we're hearing right now, the Atlanta Hawks, they're going to be sellers in the trade, in the buyout market. The GM already kind of expressed his regretful feelings of bringing everyone back. They're going to be sellers. And I feel like they can get someone big with that. Maybe a Jeremy Grant like we talked about, or maybe a Sabonis or something like that. Who knows? But I feel like the Hawks have the potential to flip Cam Reddish into a solid piece. And we really think about it, DeAndre Horn on an expiring contract, Cam Reddish on an expiring contract. Who's more valuable right now?
1,000% DeAndre.
We're gonna
Okay,
say
but for what 13 games out of the year?
Yeah, that's true. DeAndre Hunter, but Cam Reddish has also been injured a lot too.
Cam Reddish has the same injury problems as well.
Probably even more.
If you're gonna build your franchise around a player right now as we speak, I think I'd pick Hunter just because I think he has not more potential, but I feel like I build around.
He's a more polished player than Cam Reddish is, and even though I think DeAndre Hunter is a year or two older, but whereas Hunter's better. It's that simple.
Hunter's better right now, and if you're in New York, you got half of season to see how Hunter is gonna play. How is he gonna integrate in a system where you got a
Reddish.
How is he gonna integrate in a system where you got a bunch of young players? What am I talking about? RJ Barrett, he's been emerging as of late.
Playing really well, yeah.
I know. We know Reddish is gonna come off the bench and give you really good minutes defensively. But can he emerge as another offensive weapon when Julius Randle becomes Julius Randle.
That's big facts.
That's pretty much all we need to know. So because the Knicks are gonna have to pay him at some point. Will they pay him? Will they not? I think it's.
Wait, what do you mean when he becomes Julius Randle? What do you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean, bro.
What do
You know
I
exactly.
mean, you know he's not gonna be like all-star caliber player. He came out, so it's like we're expecting him. We're expecting him to come back again.
I agree. It's just
Anyway,
hilarious
so-
seeing Johnny say all this, and then he has the glass. It's just perfect.
He's cooling. He's cooling right now. He's cooling right now.
Julius Randle is a bum, bro. He can't dribble with his right hand, bro.
That is 1,000% facts. I hate Julius Randle right now, bro.
If Julius Randle wasn't 6'7", 230, bro, he'd be making chopped cheeses in New York right now.
He'd be
Next to
flipping
the Garden,
burgers.
bro. He wouldn't be playing. He'd be making chopped cheese right now. But the point is that they need another scoring option that they can rely on other than Julius Randle. Hopefully, he can get past that slump. But Tom Thibodeau's stuck in his ways. Like I don't really see him like giving Reddish the keys to offensively. It's gonna take time to integrate, and he's gonna have to get his money. So
And how much he's gonna be using though? How much he's gonna use him as well? He's a young player at the end of the day, like you guys said. We mentioned before, he's injury prone player.
Andrew, yeah.
So
It's just too much. There's too many variables for Reddish to work in New York. Whereas Atlanta, they have the pick, they have another long wing, and they can package the pick for someone that's like reliable. So I feel like right now, well, obviously the potential of Reddish is higher, but as we speak right now, Atlanta is winning the trade. And in the future,
in your eyes, I still think, in my opinion, I still think it's the Knicks. But I think we got a lot of information out of that. We got everybody's takes on it. At the end of the day, it's still a good trade for both teams.
Sure.
At first, it didn't look that way, but now it does. Now that we've analyzed it, it seems like a pretty solid trade for both teams. And I'm actually really excited for Cam Reddish, and I'm really excited for the potential that I joked about it before, the whole Zion thing, but it could actually be a real thing. I mean, those are his two good friends from college. They all went to Duke. They all almost won a championship together. Like it could potentially be bringing Zion there. I mean, who knows? It's a big thing.
And another thing, the Knicks are in 11th place. They gotta
step it up. Yeah, step it up.